Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Welcome back for part 2 of our playthrough of the excellent game from Evil Hat Publications. This is Deathmatch Island, part 2 of our exploration of an island here in the Deathmatch Island game. With me, I have fantastic players who have been murdering and massacring their way across the island. No, not just murdering. There's also been a lot of strategy and clever cunning on display. Please welcome Mary Lou, Troy Lavallee, Skidmar, and Rob Kerkovich. Denver's Rob Kerkovich.
Never thought I'd say it.
Denver native.
Yeah.
Honorary Denver native,
really?
Rob Kerkovich.
Things to do in Denver when you're me.
Denver's native son.
The pride of Denver, Rob Kerkovich.
Native son.
Denver is so dangerous. It's kind of like a deathmatch island in and of itself, right?
Well, we're so high that like if everyone's fighting to not fall off the cliffside.
The mountains.
Yeah. Every challenge gets a D8 altitude
Yep.
complication.
A lot of
I do gigs.
battles for oxygen.
I do gigs in Denver, this one specifically, twice a year, and they actually have cans of oxygen off stage for all the performers because it's so different that you can be in like peak physical condition and be like, yeah, I do this
Like
all the time. And then you go to Denver and do it and you're like, I'm dying.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I thought it was a joke, but I feel like I saw ads for it on the public transportation or something like that. It's like in Spaceballs with Perrier or whatever when he starts like sniffing from a can. That's like what it looks like the person's about to do. It's hilarious.
Every time I go to Denver, I put on like this breathing system on my face, and like it's like a suit,
Like Immortan Joe?
Yes,
I like Baron Harkonnen is what I was going to say.
just inflating behind you.
It's funny.
Yeah.
We have my
Awesome.
friend Nick Shelton and I, years ago, we went to go see Norm Macdonald at the Comedy Works in Denver. And he would say, hey, I've been throwing up all day. I went to the doctor and I asked him why. He says, because I'm in Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
Denver
people
will get you.
Yeah, that's how
Denver
some
will
people
get ya.
react when we get here. Let me tell you all about Denver instead of Skid, the person who grew up there.
No, please.
Oh, I forgot. I sometimes I forget. Skid is really a Denver native.
Yes.
I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am.
He can tell you all about the omelet and its creation.
Oh, yeah.
What's
origins-
the dangerous?
Wait, why? Why is it called the Denver omelet?
Because of the city and the eggs.
They both came
there's-
from...
I think there's ham and
Well,
peppers
why?
involved as well.
High
There's ham and
altitude
green
eggs,
peppers.
Mary Lou. High
Oh, it's
altitude
the
eggs.
high altitude
They
eggs.
have a different center. The
So-
yolk has a different center of gravity.
Okay. And they just like taste better with green peppers and ham?
Yeah.
Apparently.
Okay.
That's
All
what
When you
people in
go,
Denver
have you
say.
ever, Mary Lou, when you go to Denver next time, go out to the fields of green peppers that are there.
Okay. I will.
It's like you're in Gladiator. Your hands just graze over them in the twilight.
Yeah, there's fields and fields of
My
green
children
peppers
play.
right beside a hog pen where ham is also farmed.
Yep.
You run your hand over the
I
pigs.
see.
Gently.
I see.
That's why it's
I
a
thought
Denver
maybe-
omelet.
I thought maybe it was one of those situations where it's like not named after like the city, but like a man named, Robert
Denver.
Denver.
John
like,
Denver.
Like John Denver.
Yeah.
You know, like German chocolate cake or like the Caesar salad, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I was always
thought maybe it was
confused
one of
about
those.
John Denver because he sang a song about West Virginia. And as a child, I found that very confusing.
yeah,
It is
because he's
confusing.
And
from
he's not
Colorado.
from Colorado, where he wasn't.
No,
You know-
but he had Rocky Mountain High.
That's not possible.
Right. He also had that.
There
so
you
it's
go.
very-
Now, I'm
confusing to a
from
child.
West Virginia, and I know that the Almost Heaven West Virginia song was actually written by people from West Virginia. I think it was a couple. And then John Denver, media mogul, music industry bigwig, came and
Yeah.
bought it from them and acted like he knew about West Virginia.
It's like Creedence Clearwater
Classic.
Revival not being from the swamp. They're just from like NorCal.
Yeah.
Like,
This,
Is that
this
true?
was probably mentioned on another
Is that
show
true?
before.
I don't think they're from the South.
Well,
Creedence.
Neil Young will remember Southern Man don't need him around anyhow.
It was the We Are the World documentary on Netflix.
Oh my
God.
God. Yeah, it was so
Still
good.
gonna watch that. I hear it's amazing.
It's so good.
I can't remember. Let's say it's Billy Joel like leans over to Huey Lewis and is like, man, if something happens here today, John Denver's back on top.
That's funny. Wow, John Denver catching a lot of strays today.
The Muppets cannot be denied. It puts him in the pantheon.
I think a great soundtrack for Deathmatch Island would be the folk music of John Denver.
Oh my God. I'd take one of these zip guns.
Yeah,
I
as
couldn't
people
take
kill
it.
each other with
I'd have
zip
to leave
guns.
the contest one way or another. I can't. I hate John Denver, man.
Wow.
I hate John Denver.
That's good to know.
Well, we hate John Denver, but we love Evil Hat, who creates this game. And if you've seen part 1, you know how much fun this game is. It's actually a great casual game. You don't have to do an hour or 3 hours of character creation. You can sit down and start playing right away. And I think, a session, it looks like it's going to be about 4 hours. So that's perfect for a night of gaming. And you'll have done like a full island's worth of murdering and backstabbing and all those fun things. So if you want to get the game, you can go to evilhat.com and purchase it. And we just want to thank Evil Hat and our good friends over there for setting us up with this fantastic game. Are you guys ready to get into phase 2?
Yes. So ready.
I'm really interested to see how this plays out. Like, I'm curious, do we just all die? Most of us die? Could this be a long-term campaign? I mean, this is the first book that I'm picking up at Gen Con this year. I'm going to find it at like Indie Game Publishing, and I'm buying it because I want to know like what the legs of a series of this could be.
Yeah, and the book fully outlines how that would run, They call it a season, and you would go to like 3 different islands during a season. And then there is a special climactic sort of scenario that happens on the 3rd island. And then, depending on what happens there, you could move on to another season. So there is a campaign form of play, but it also plays excellently as a one-shot, like we're doing here with these 2 parts. So let's just briefly recap what has happened thus far. Our competitors, whose names are, I know, Ren Lamb, Colby Snow, Bowie Porter, and, I'm sorry, Rob. Who are you playing?
No, you already got me, Colby Snow.
Oh, you're Colby Snow. I'm sorry, Mary Lou. Who's your character?
Casey Barlow, Olympic athlete.
Barlow!
Right.
They all have, forgive me, they all have kind of stupid names.
They do.
We do.
Do you?
But realistic in a way. Okay,
Blame the roll tables.
No, I blame only myself. So they landed on the island in a fishing village. They quickly encountered an alliance being formed by a police officer named Abthorpe, who was very aggressive, loud, domineering. They also encountered a small group led by a veterinarian named Quincy, who said they did not want to join Abthorpe's warlike and domineering, perhaps reactionary alliance, and asked the group to join Quincy's alliance instead. You guys kind of did that, and you helped Quincy and her team, Ted, Trudy, and Bingo, escape the fishing village. Your next stop was a redacted site, a restricted site. You guys decided to go off of the intended contest course and go to a weird bunker with a blinking light. There, Ren Lamb, our former MI6 operative, viciously murdered Bingo using automated Gatling guns. You guys got past the security measures.
I did.
Yeah, you guys got past the security measures and you found a bunch of mysterious items and a lot of very useful stuff hidden in this restricted site. You then moved on to what is called the Sanctuary. It really looks like a kind of a McMansion housing development in the center of the island. All of the houses sort of new but abandoned or empty. And there you encountered a large contingent of Abthorpe's alliance. A lot of his soldiers that had joined him were there, and your goal was to split them off, to kind of break up the alliance somehow. And you did this, I think, with a social game kind of attack.
Yep.
You kind of gave them the Hyundai vehicle that you had procured, and you kind of told them about the restricted site, and you kind of sent a bunch of them up there, sort of breaking up their number, kind of. I think you even convinced them that Abthorpe was in cahoots with production in some way.
I think we just said he was holding out on them, and then they went up to the bunker, and we heard the Gatling guns go off again.
Yeah. Right, yeah, the Gatling guns went off again. So your trap even had maybe another wrinkle that you didn't know was coming, but it worked to your favor. So as you're standing there in the sanctuary, suddenly these loudspeakers up on these very high metal poles, and they're all over the island. Suddenly the klaxons start sounding. Bwah, bwah, bwah. Birds, flocks of birds take off from the island, scared by these loud, like horn blasts coming out of these poles, and you hear a voice says, "Phase 2 begins. Kill or be killed. Compete to win. Only half will leave the island." Bwah, 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 bwah. And phase 2 has begun. In phase 1, you sort of explored the island, you gathered allies, you gathered items that could help you, acquisitions they're called in this game. You made friends, you made enemies, but now it's kill or be killed. Now we are hurtling toward a climax on this island. So I'll just kind of remind you kind of where you are. You're in that sanctuary that I spoke of, that sort of housing development. Quincy is with you. Her living teammates, Ted and Trudy, are up at the blinking light. You have managed to break up some of Abthorpe's alliance, but Abthorpe isn't here. And if you'd like to have a discussion, you can, but I'm just going to let you know what the next step is. So in phase 2, you go through 3 phases, and we can show you this in a diagram. There are 3 phases to phase 2, okay? The first is the scout. When the klaxons go off for phase 2, you all are going to scout the island, get the lay of the land, figure out intelligence about what's going on so that you are ready, so you are prepared for the final deathmatch that is coming. So you could do a lot of things. You could reconnect with teammates that you made contact with earlier and kind of tighten your alliance. You could look for someone or something on the island. You could get to a high point and look at the lay of the land. Really, you can do anything you want in the scout phase, okay? I mean, I really will allow you to do anything you want. And the best part of the scout phase of phase 2 is that you can choose your own capabilities. So you can use your character's strengths. Not everybody needs to choose the same capability like they did with the earlier challenges. So it's almost like each of you can kind of do your own thing, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So that is what's coming up now. Feel free to discuss among yourselves as characters and figure out what you would like to do next in the scout phase. The klaxons continue to go off. You see some of Abthorpe's remaining soldiers like starting to run away from the sanctuary, going who knows where, getting ready for when the bullets and blades start to fly.
Okay, bros. This place has mega bad vibes to me. I do not want to stay here. I want to get away from this sanctuary and away from Abthorpe. He's a dick. And anybody who allied themselves with him, because either they're a dick or they're weak and like easily influenced. And I don't want to be here. I want to get out of here and see if we can like milk it for what it's worth, grab any supplies or acquisitions on the way, but like I want to boogie.
Okay, you want to boogie. So you want to leave here, but where do you want to go to? Are you looking for a hiding place? Are you looking for a defensible position? Are you looking for a team to support you? Where do you want to go?
I think it's my opinion that we look for a defensible position. Like, it's not necessary to me that it be like hidden, but it could be if that's part of its defense. But that's my idea.
Yeah, we could like lay low for a little bit. I'll do it in character. We could lay low for a little bit and let them kill each other, and then we come out and just pick off whoever's left.
Yeah, we could hide in one of these houses. I get the vibes are bad, but we're being kind of provided with some shelter right here.
Do you think this is the best place to hide?
You said everyone else is scattered, or are they still running around here too?
You see a few stragglers from Abthorpe's alliance who didn't run up to the blinking light, you know, but for the most part,
we saw a map.
Yeah, you have a map.
So
you know what's what, where is where. Yeah.
Yeah,
if we left here, should we go inland or go towards the water?
Let me add this, which is, before you were sort of restricted to the nodes that were like near you. I'm gonna say during the scout phase, if someone wants to pitch going to a farther out node, someplace that's not directly beside the node you're on, I can accept that pitch. It might affect the difficulty, how far you're traveling, what you're trying to do there, may affect what the production player brings to bear during this scout phase.
Yeah.
Let me set some more stakes as well. Whatever you do here, your scouting, if you win, can set you up with a D10 advantage die for each of you that you can use in one of the subsequent contests in phase 2.
Okay.
Can we see the map again?
Yeah, let's bring up that
might give
map.
us some ideas.
There's a crashed plane nearby. There's a playground.
Oh.
Yeah,
I want to remind us that we did see a VIP landing area in the northwest. I'm not suggesting we go there, but that is very interesting if we want to like head in that direction. I don't know why. It might be like better protected because it's the VIP landing area, and so there might, it might be more dangerous for us, but it also might be an easier place to live. And
it's close too.
Is it? Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's not too far away. It's up there in the
close-ish.
Yeah, the northwestern quarter of the island. It's not incredibly far. It's on your side of the island. If you wanted to go up there and try to kind of explore that area, I would just say, do you think that there will be some restricted security measures there?
I mean, it's blacked out just like the blinking light was blacked out, so I'm assuming that means it's a redacted
area.
Zone.
It would definitely be a great hiding place.
Yeah, let's head up there. We're gonna have to kind of navigate around these apartment blocks, which might be flush with maniacs. But
yeah, and the crashed plane.
Yeah, we have to either pass through the crashed plane site, which is that redacted too? It's got the eyeball there. What does that mean?
No, it is not. It's not redacted. An eyeball means that it is a point of interest only.
Interesting.
And then there's the playground.
Or the playground. So you have to pass through one of those two. So, I mean, for the sheer lostness of it, I'd sure like to see the crashed plane.
Yeah,
let's do that. Yeah.
All right, so let's take that route up, and we'll see what we see.
Yeah.
So
I hope there's a smoke monster.
Okay.
Oh my God.
There's a smoke monster.
So, just so I know your approach and your goal, and we're very clear on that during this scout phase. You want to get into the VIP landing area and hide out for a period of time so that all the other competitors kind of pick each other off until there's just a few left and then come out from your hiding space. Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah, and Ren also, I think she's motivated, A, by just furthering the sort of bonding experience and like getting to feel like a human being, and B, investigating what's going on here. And so I think that gives us a better chance of finding out something useful is going to that place rather than somewhere else.
Okay, great. Well, let me first just kind of describe what you see on your trip as you go. And we don't have to roll the contest quite yet, this scouting contest quite yet. Basically, you're gonna try to get all the way. It's a bit of a forced march because you've got to go through several kind of nodes to get there. So you're hurrying through the jungle, hurrying past this crash plane site, trying to get in this hiding space before anybody closes in on you. And if you're able to do that, we'll give you like a D10 advantage die that reflects your hidden status, like that you found this hiding place nobody else knows about. Okay. So as you kind of like march the jungle double time, jogging along, Quincy is with you, and she's able to keep up but she hasn't really spoken up in a while, and it seems like something is on her mind. You come to a broad sloping hill covered in scrubby ground cover. A crashed plane is clearly visible from a distance, surrounded by scattered debris. It's clearly years old, overgrown with weeds. It's rusting. There's a wide open sky above, and you think that this is a mystery. How did this get here, and what's going on here? You're not quite sure, but you can continue to just move past it, or you could explore a little bit. I'll allow either.
Are we hearing? Oh, this is still scouting, so we're not hearing like battle sounds or anything yet.
You are not hearing any battle sounds, although it is phase 2, so people can start using weaponry. Okay, it's kill or be killed now. All right. So even though the way the game works is that there's sort of a scouting challenge and then subsequent challenges in phase 2, it does not mean that no one is firing each other, that the contest isn't dangerous, etc. And also, I'm kind of going to reiterate that you can use your own capability here, so all of you don't have to do the same thing. Okay? Mm-hmm. If one of you wanted to go kill some people and use deathmatch, and another one wanted to go and, I don't know, make some friends and use social game, that's allowed here. Right now, it's looking like so you can all choose your own capability that you're best at in this scouting phase.
All right, so I'll get stupid here, just to get things rolling. You tell me if I'm taking things too far. But I mentioned Big Brother last week. A challenge that comes up a lot in Big Brother is they'll have this like puzzle, and they all have to like try and put it together, and it's just like a sculpture, and it takes them a long time to do it, and you see them racing to do it. So as Bowie rolls up on this crashed plane, is that where we are right now? The crashed plane?
That's where you are right now.
Yeah. He sees like a puzzle here. He's a challenge beast. And so what he wants to do is try and fashion a suit of armor out of chunks of the plane.
Fuselage.
I have a great idea.
Okay, so
go with me on this.
So when we roll for Bowie, we're gonna roll this. We're gonna have him roll something about. I think it's incredible, honestly. I think it's a real wild pitch, but I think that we should allow stuff like this. So
okay,
absolutely. Would that be Challenge Beast? There's also, well, you get to choose. So it is Challenge Beast. It involves like prying pieces of metal off the side of a plane. I assume
there's a puzzle here.
Yeah, I assume that, well, a Challenge Beast is usually like a physical challenge. And because you're a martial artist, that means you have incredible endurance, stamina, strength, etc.
So dismantling a plane with your bare hands sounds like that.
And fashioning it into a suit of armor.
It feels to me like you're also probably getting like a seat loose from the plane and using the padding from the seat like somewhere.
It's getting real creative.
Yeah, getting real creative. So that is what our friend Bowie engages in. Now, this can all happen on the trip to the VIP area that you guys described.
Okay.
That's absolutely fine. So we're gonna go ahead and see how well that went when we finally roll, Bowie. But that's really great. If anybody else wants to interact with the crashed plane site in any way, they can. If you want to describe how you continue on the forced march, if you want to do something else that has to do with the capability you want to use in the scouting phase, let me know.
Okay. I have an idea for social game, which is my best thing.
Yeah.
If somewhere along this trip, I talk to Quincy and try to like amp her up so that when the time comes, even though she's sort of like a, kind of like a, not nervous, but just like non-prone to violence veterinarian, like I whip her up so that she's ready for to go all in on the violence part of things.
Yes.
Yeah, get her into the team.
Yes.
Get her some buy-in.
Colby Snow, that's perfect. I think that's lovely. And social game, is that good for you? Is that a good?
That's my best. Yeah.
Okay, great. So when the time comes, we will roll social game for our friend Colby Snow. All right. What about you, Casey Barlow?
So Casey Barlow's, her best capability is Challenge Beast. She's an athlete, right? Like as a surfer, she has incredibly high endurance, I think. You just have to be like, you gotta have a lot of lung capacity, you gotta have really strong muscles, and you gotta be, you know, able to sprint, but also to really just stay in it and stay calm under pressure.
And she's incredible at crouching, or he is, I'm sorry.
No, she.
Okay. Casey is a she. Okay. She's very good at crouching, we found out.
She's very good at crouching. Incredible at crouching. World-class croucher. And at staying, you know, chill. Because when you're in the tube, right? Like,
gotta keep a level head.
It's loud. It's insane. You gotta be copacetic. And so I think she's gonna use those skills by, like, as we are marching, and when we're at the crashed plane site, I think she's always on the move. She's never still. So like if we're moving in a straight line, she's sort of doing like a wide zigzag to like keep like our eyes wider and like head on a swivel, covering more area so that nothing surprises us. And in case there are any little treasures or discoveries, like she'll have a wider focus to catch them. Like when we're at the crash site, I think she's doing a big perimeter, making sure that there's no like traps or anything like that. So
you're kind of the Pathfinder here. You're kind of the advanced scout. You're kind of going ahead, keeping your head on a swivel, looking for advantages, acquisitions, danger, and it sounds like you're kind of leading the way to that VIP landing area. Am I interpreting you correctly?
Sure.
And
if
what
everybody else is
capability
cool
are you
with
using
that.
there?
Challenge Beast.
Challenge Beast. Okay,
because I'm never
great.
standing still. I'm just always sort of like jogging along, reporting back, making perimeters, right? Like scouting 50, 100 feet ahead, just to make sure we're not like dropping into any ditches or anything like that.
Okay, very good. And let's talk to Ren Lamb now. Ren, how do you think you are contributing to this scouting phase?
Ren would like to start while Colby? Wait. While Bowie.
There's a lot of names that end in E.
I know. This is all...
There's Colby and Casey.
Colby, Casey, and
Bowie and Quincy.
Bowie and Quincy.
Colby, Casey, Bowie, Quincy.
And we had
Colby,
Trudy
Casey,
at one point.
Yeah. It sounds like somebody, a very bourgeois person's children.
Yeah.
It sounds like a bourgeois person who lives in a mansion. They're Quincy, Bowie, get over here. Okay. Go for it, Ren. Sorry.
Yeah, it's Goodwill Hunting. While Bowie is bending the metal to his will, I want to start fashioning lethal traps for anyone who approaches this area. That's what I would like to do.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, I love it. Okay, that's a lot of fun. So what?
And anybody following us?
What capability are you using to do that?
Deathmatch.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so we are creating armor out of a crashed plane. We are fashioning death traps, jungle death traps, a la First Blood for anybody that tries to follow your trail.
Yes.
We are convincing our allies to be loyal and to be ready to fight on our behalf. And we are leading the way to a very defensible hiding spot that we think the rest of the competitors on the island don't know about. All right. But of course, there are things against you here. And let me add them up, if I may. Quincy is a veterinarian, and therefore she values life. And so I'm going to give her a D8 for veterinarian. Let's see, what else about her might be applicable here? I'm going to deal with her first. She's practical, she's focused. No, I think it's practical to want to kill people in phase 2 of Deathmatch Island. So
she wants to live.
I don't think it would, but I don't think it would apply to the difficulty of you convincing her. You know what I mean? Because it would be impractical for her to fight against you. But she is very focused, which I think means that she's kind of stubborn. So I'm giving her a D8 for that. Now, the Alliance at this point is hunting you. And I think the Alliance, that gives, the Alliance has the trait Innumerable.
Oh, right.
Which gives them a D10. And I don't know, they also just get a D8 for being the Alliance. No, a D10 for being the Alliance. But you know what? You took off a lot of their number.
Yeah.
So I'm going to change that D10 to a D8.
Nice.
Actually, no. You took off enough of them. I'm going to change it to a D6.
Nice.
Wow.
But I'm still going to give them, the Alliance still gets kind of a name die, which is a D10. I'm still going to give them that because they're dangerous. Okay, so instead of 2 big D10s, they got a D10 and a D6. And they are hunting you. They are trying to close in on you. They are trying to find you. And you know that is a danger here in this scouting mission. Abthorpe, I'm not going to put him into this contest yet. I think that he's still waiting in the wings somewhere and leading his Alliance. So I don't think that his traits apply yet. But I am going to say that getting into this secret area, it can't be easy. It can't be just really cut and dry. So I'm going to give just 1 die for that. I'm going to give a D6. You had the map. That should give you an advantage to getting there. You shouldn't have any trouble finding it. But I think that when you get there, you find a series of like old tunnels that are really overgrown that lead to it. They're very overgrown. They're dark. There's places where they've caved in. So navigating these tunnels to the VIP area is difficult. So I'm going to give you a D6 for that. And now I'm going to roll. And what we found out last time is keeping the target number a secret is kind of fun.
It is.
Yeah. This is cool. So you've basically taken like everything that we're all separately dealing with and put it into one dice pool that will be the blanket challenge number for all of our stuff, regardless of what we're doing.
That's right. But, you know, your advantage in the scouting contest is you were able to choose your best capability.
Right.
And then I wonder if our stuff is all cumulative against this target number. It must be, right?
Yeah, we're all going to roll against this number, right?
You're all going to roll against this target number using the capability that you choose. Okay?
Cool.
So let's see. And when the production player rolls, that's me, I just take the highest number and I add it to the difficulty level or the danger level of this scouting phase. And so I now have my target number for the scouting phase here. And so that's everything that's against you.
Okay.
You know, Quincy is a bit intransigent. The vast alliance of Abthorpe is like running through the jungle trying to pick up your trail. And these tunnels are hard to navigate. They're dark, they're hard to navigate. Not to mention how hard it is to pull an airplane seat out of a wrecked plane.
Plus, a plane is distinctly engineered to not be
pulled apart.
Taken apart by a band.
Pulled apart for armor.
Yes. I have strong hands. That's one of my traits.
So, having gotten my target number together, each of you may enter the contest, and you remember how that works.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. You take your name die. You take and you intro your character. You take your occupation die if it's applicable, and then you take your capability die. And if you want to use any acquisitions, you mark them off and add a D4, which is added to your final total. All right, Bowie Porter, let's start with you.
All right, we'll flash to Bowie Porter in a confessional, and says, "Back in my dojo, there will be several inspirational phrases written across the walls. One of them never really made sense to me until right now." And we cut to Bowie in his dojo, just staring at this one phrase that says, "If you're ever in the wild, anything can be armor."
That was on the wall of your dojo?
That's painted on the
Never
wall.
really made sense to him until just...
Why?
Weird.
Who put that there? Why was that there?
So one of his distinguishing features is strong hands, and you just see him plying, trying to rip this apart. And I will use one of my acquisitions. I'll use small luxuries to have some, like, super glue.
Okay. Now, usually small luxuries are only used to recuperate between missions. But you have, well, no, wait. You have realized that you are in sort of a one-shot situation. So I'll allow you to metagame and use oatmeal pies to stick together your armor.
Yeah.
I also have survival gear. I guess I could use, that might be more appropriate
Another acquisition that is normally used in the game to recuperate between islands. Yeah.
Okay.
Those have a very special effect, just like weapons have a special effect. They make a contest dangerous, etc.
All right. Well, I want to kind of lean into the rules here and not stretch them too much. What does the zip gun do?
Zip gun is a weapon.
Just a weapon. Yeah.
And I don't know that it would be applicable here. If we wanted to be, if I wanted to be a bastard GM right now, I would say you can't use your zip gun to help you with this. But according to the rules as written, I think you could. You'd have to justify it in some way.
Yeah, you have to.
I didn't know if it was like a special,
like dismantle it and use the parts to fasten together the plates of metal.
Well, that's kind of fun.
It makes a lot of sense, and it would make sense while you're checking it off too.
All right, so let's do this. Let's I'm gonna burn some trust with Casey, which gives me another D4.
No, it gives you Casey's name die, which is a D6.
Which is a D6. All right, so now I've got 3 D6 and a D8. And then I'm tempted to just roll that because, I'm just going to roll that.
Okay, great. Don't roll yet. You remember we all roll at once. And now let us turn to our friend, Casey Barlow.
Okay, yeah. I want to use my Remington M870 shotgun. And I want to have it out as I'm jogging. So, and like cocked and ready in case anything shows up. And so that's helping me feel safe and calm and secure because I know I got a fucking shotgun. And I chose that instead of the Walther P99 because it's better at close range and it has a higher die, I think, right?
No. It will only have a D4 acquisition. Or wait, it will have as many. I apologize. You are right in a way. It will have as many D4s as it has a level. So if it says 3, you roll 3D4. If it says 2, you roll 2D4.
Aha! So it's 2.
But we are going backwards, Casey Barlow. We must start with you entering the contest. You must give me your name die. Then we must decide if your occupation die applies. Then you must tell me your capability die, and then we will talk about your M70 shotgun. Okay?
Okay. Yes. You see Casey Barlow. She goes, and she takes out her shotgun, and the Chiron goes. Casey Barlow, going with the flow. I think I already used that Chiron, but now
maybe they reuse them. That's okay.
And they do, and
saving money
now there's
on Chiron.
There's another one on the bottom that goes like, and now the flow is deadly flow. It's great. And yeah, she's definitely entering this competition. So that's 1d6. I think as an Olympic athlete, she has super high physical, she's in peak physical condition. She was planning on competing in the Olympics in just a few months.
I'm convinced. Take your occupation die.
Boom. Then it's challenge beast, so I take my D8.
Absolutely. You get to choose it for the scouting competition.
I am adding my Remington shotgun, which is 2d4 acquisition, and I'm also going to spend a point of trust with Ren. And how I want that to work is I think I'm gonna like check in with Ren right up top and be like, listen, Ren, you are deadly, right? Like it looks like you got eyes in the back of your head. Can you keep an eye on the crew, right? Our little nucleus and behind us while I scout ahead so that I can focus on looking forward and to the side and not worry about what's going on with the crew. Can you handle that?
And Ren like reaches out and like lays her hand on your forearm and says, "I'm so glad we're talking like this." And she goes back to
yes, queen.
Yeah.
I love that. Yes, girl. Okay, awesome. Great.
All right.
I feel awesome.
That's your dice pool. It feels strong. It feels strong. Maybe the dice gods will favor you. Let's now talk to the person you just talked to, Ren Lamb.
So Ren, the Chiron comes across the screen. Ren Lamb. Her colleagues call her the hooded cobra of Sussex. But this time, this cobra's venom's turned deadly.
Yeah.
This time.
So
that's a long Chiron.
This time the venomous
a wordy Chiron. Yeah.
Yep. That's right. So she's going to be bolstered by this human connection that she's formed with Casey. She feels budding. It's the woman-to-woman relationship that she's longed for ever since she was a public schoolgirl in Sussex. She starts setting up these traps, and I think she's going to use one of her 2 Remington shotguns, like as incorporated into the trap, with like a tripwire and like boom.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sweet.
Nice.
Very good. So, Ren gets her name die. She gets her name die. She
D6.
definitely gets her occupation die.
Occupation die.
Yeah. And based on what you've told me, deathmatch die.
Deathmatch die.
And did you say your connection with Casey means you're spending a point of trust to get a D6 name die?
Point of trust with Casey as well.
And then your Remington shotgun gives you
D4.
2 D4s. Yeah. All right.
2 D4s. Okay.
Yeah, because it's a level 2 acquisition, so it gives you 2 D4s. Mark that off and take your 2 D4s, and then we turn through the jungle to Colby Snow, film director.
Film director.
Extraordinaire.
So, as we revealed at the end of part 1, he realized that he was, instead of being a nervous Nelly, he was really just a piece of shit Hollywood filmmaker. Yeah, the Chiron comes on and it's like, Colby Snow remembers. And then there's a confessional where he's just completely different person. It probably was filmed before everyone got knocked out and put on the boats, right? So he's still like his old personality. He's like, yeah, I'll never forget I was working on a film, early 2000s, it's called Fireman Cop, Jason Statham.
Fireman Cop.
Statham didn't want to do this one stunt where he had to hit a guy in the face with a crowbar, because honestly, we didn't have a fake crowbar. It was a real crowbar. Statham was getting a little nervous in his pants about it. I was like, look, these are paid professionals. Hit that fucker with the crowbar. And Statham was like, I don't know, mate. And I was like, do it or you're fired, asshole. And he's like, okay, I love you. And so, so I know how to get somebody to do what I need them to do in the moment. And then comes back to him talking to Quincy. So that's going to be what he relies on.
Okay, very good.
Ability to convince Jason Statham to do dangerous things.
It's beautiful. It's perfect. Name die, D6.
Yep.
Occupation die, absolutely, which is
D6.
a D. It's a D6.
Yep.
Then social game is what you're using, right?
Yep, D8.
Your best die, D8. Anything else?
Yeah, and to sweeten the pot, I was wondering, I feel like I saw this in the rulebook, or at least it's like this is an amazing, like, we've already talked about the graphic design on this book. It's amazing.
There was
like
it is.
The small luxuries, there's like a little wrapping on it that says like, are you gonna eat this or are you gonna use it to like give to somebody else to like,
yeah,
there's something like that. So I want to like hand her my like Nutrigrain bar or whatever. As like, like you should take this.
Okay, I'll allow
Jason
it.
Statham, it was a shepherd's pie, but for you, take this luxury item.
Everybody knows if you give Jason Statham a shepherd's pie, he'll do whatever you tell him to
do. Any stunt.
And that's a 1d4, I think. Is the level.
1d4.
Like a trained dog.
Yeah.
All right, are you ready for your contest?
Yes.
Then roll. Here we go.
So what do we add? Whatever was on our D8 plus one of the D6s?
You add
the two highest.
You sum the two highest, and then you can add to that total your D4s.
What are the
Both
D4s
of them
again?
or just one of them?
Oh my golly gosh. Great question. Let me make sure I have that right. When you use one, roll a number of D4 equal to the tier. So if your acquisition has a 2 beside it, you roll 2d4. The highest d4 result is added to the tally.
Makes sense.
Thank you. Thank you for catching that.
Man, these
All right,
D8s
so
are
I
not
don't have
perfect.
any D4s.
All right. I'm going to go backwards now. Tell me how you did. Well, first of all, let's reveal the target number. 11. 11 was what you were trying to hit. All right, who failed to hit the target number? Colby Snow and Bowie Porter.
Oh, no.
Oh, I can't wait to find out about this armor. Okay.
It didn't work.
It's Delta Mail.
Turns out this was a bad idea.
Who did hit the target number? Who did hit the target number? Okay, great. And
Ladies.
what was your total, Casey Barlow? What was your total?
I got a 14.
Whoa.
Very
Wow.
good. And Ren Lamb, what was your total?
I got a 13.
Oh, man!
yes!
So a success for Ren Lamb, but the winner of the competition is our friend Casey Barlow. Casey
feels
Barlow, please mark off 110,000 followers.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
11 followers?
That's right.
Or
Mark off
11 check
11.
boxes. Wow.
11 check boxes. Then we go to Ren Lamb, who will mark off 6 check boxes. And then our friends Bowie and our friend Colby will just mark off 1 checkbox for this challenge. And let us start with Colby. Describe what happened. Remember that you failed.
I failed. I failed by 1. I think Colby's, he's all bluster. He's talking about all these movies and stuff. And maybe Quincy's just like, I just read books. Like nothing I say, all my references, all my name drops. She's never heard of Jason Statham.
Yeah, who's Jason Statham?
Yeah. She's like, wasn't he a soccer player? Then she's not a film fan, and it's not convincing at all. She just thinks I'm an asshole.
Yeah, in fact, that's what she does. She says, would you please quit talking? We're in a serious situation here, and you're being an asshole.
Filmmaking is serious. Fine. Shit.
We can't talk about movies right now. They're closing in on us. Okay, so that's how Colby Snow's situation resolves. How about Bowie Porter? Let's hear about this.
So Bowie, he's just ripping off pieces of, doors and seats. He's taking wires out of the fuselage to, tie everything together. And he comes out and he's got it all on. And he's like, check this out. And then it just all falls
apart.
And then it cuts back to him at the at the dojo. Anything in the wild can be armor, and he just nods and walks away. And what you realize is that what it said was if you're ever in the wild, anything can be armor for your mind. And he didn't see that part.
Very good, but I just if it works for you, Troy, I think Bowie still has a piece of a seat cushion and an oxygen mask hanging off of him for the rest of
a cod piece and an oxygen mask.
Right, yeah. Very good.
Cup plate.
He's got an old ashtray covering his crotch.
Very good, very good. And I'm gonna actually go to Casey last. Let me have Ren Lamb now. Ren.
So yeah, Ren, she sort of retraces her steps over the path that we took to get here, the most likely approach point, and she sets up the Remington shotgun in the crook of a tree with a tripwire underneath, like I said, and she hangs back hidden in the brush as one of these people comes up to follow us. And boom, hits the tripwire, and boom, blows their head off, sending shards of bone and blood all through the jungle.
God, that's so fucking cool.
Now that's a Deathmatch Island.
And then I go grab the shotgun.
Yes, even though it has been marked off as an acquisition, and it's therefore gone, according to the game rules.
Oh, I thought you could use it twice. I thought that was the...
no, that little 2 is the number of D4s you get when you use it. Yeah.
Well, I still grab it as a souvenir.
Yes, you do. So finally we turn to the winner of our contest, Casey Barlow. Describe your scouting through the woods. How does that go? Tell us about it.
Casey Barlow enters a flow state. She is one with the forest, with the jungle, just like she is one with the ocean. It's like she can sense exactly where she needs to be at every moment, following this current of destiny, leading her pack to safety, avoiding traps. There's a patch of quicksand over here. We skirt it. They don't even know about it. They're safe not only in body but in mind and spirit from the quicksand. There's a roving band of weirdos. Gone. They don't see us. They don't even know about us. And we get to the tunnels, and I think I know exactly where to go. There's
using
one
your
tunnel.
Sense of smell?
That was more a metaphor. It just like feels right. Feels right. And yeah, she enters a flow state, and she's this is how she knows she's getting the gold. She got the gold medal of this scouting.
You are getting the gold. You have fallen down into a sort of a cleft in the earth. Not fallen, but led your party down, led your team
on
down
purpose.
into a cleft in the earth. And after traversing some rugged terrain where the ceiling of these tunnels has fallen in, you actually find a crushed golf cart at one point, and a lot of broken lights. You finally enter a more finished length of the tunnel, and as you walk through it, motion sensor lights flick on fluorescence above you. Somewhere far behind you, up on the surface, you hear the faint sound of gunfire as you enter these tunnels. And your goal was to go all the way to the VIP landing area, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So you travel through the tunnels for a little while, and then you come to an area where the metal flooring, the stone flooring and metal flooring of the tunnel gives way to a red carpet with gold fittings. You smell perfume and cigar smoke.
Oh.
And there is a door leading into the VIP landing area.
Wonderful.
Okay. Perfect.
Jared, when Troy and I failed, is there something with like the difficulty of the thing depends on whether or not we take fatigue or something? Is that a thing that happens when you fail?
In this particular case, the scouting contest, you do take fatigue when you fail a contest. So each of you should have taken a fatigue. That always happens. Sorry. So it does not matter that it was scouting or not.
It's only if it's like super difficult, you take an injury instead or something?
That's right. If it's dangerous, you take an injury, and if it's exhausting, you have to mark off fatigue to enter it. Okay?
Got it. Okay.
But in this case, you failed, take a point of fatigue.
Well, this is interesting. So you start with 1 fatigue, right?
No,
you don't start automatically with 1 fatigue.
We incurred fatigue last session. We incurred
all right, so that's my third fatigue. 1 more, and it turns into an injury.
Oh, we all got fatigue last?
I had 1.
Because this is the third one I've failed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
right,
you're close. But you have 1 more fatigue before you start taking injuries, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing I want to just remind our players is that Ren Lamb and Casey Barlow now have a D10 advantage die to use on a subsequent contest.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Stoked about
he's
it.
not holding his
Every
own.
time I've rolled this D8, it's been a 2.
Yikes.
Okay. So, let us keep going. You are in front of this door, and I can allow you to explore this site before we move into the second part of Phase 2.
Should I do a running side kick through the door?
Oh!
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Perfect form with like the fist leading.
Yeah. Love that.
Boom.
You
brick wall behind it.
You do a Krav Maga kick through the door easily, and you come into a room with lockers, and then a side door going off of that, and another side door. So you're in a room with like it's sort of got that sort of institutional kind of paint on in the room that kind of makes it look like the inside of a public school or a hospital. There are lockers on the walls, and there is a door to your right, a door to your left, and then a door across from you that is a lot bigger. It's more of like a passage.
There's 3 doors.
3 doors. Sorry, I slowly revealed 3 doors as I read the source book. I was like, oh, and another one. Oh, and another one.
Yeah, painted the picture. It's like they are, our POV is just scanning the room.
1, 2, 3.
There's 3 doors. We should split up.
Okay. How about our 2 less combat oriented folks, Quincy and Colby?
Yeah.
One of you with one of us.
Okay, yeah, because I don't think I can hang out with this broad anymore. She doesn't seem to understand filmmaking. So, she doesn't seem to...
Oh my god.
She said she hadn't even seen The Godfather.
Whoa.
That's disgusting.
That's crazy. But, Quincy, I forgive you. Quincy, why don't you come with me?
She says, I don't think so. I'm gonna look through these lockers.
Whoa.
Oh, okay.
Recall that
Have fun.
Colby Snow's social antics earlier have not loosened Quincy's mood.
Which is great, because I'm the one who's got the social skills. So
Yeah.
that's
Love that.
sweet.
Yeah, I think Casey's just like, oh, okay, awkward.
I'll go with you, Casey.
Well, all right, come on, Colby, let's get it. Do you like Point Break?
Oh, I love it. Catherine Bigelow is
The best,
touchdown
right?
in my
Yeah,
life.
totally. And I think I want to go for one of the doors. Maybe the first.
Left, right, or the large passage across from the door you came in?
We'll look in the left.
Okay. You come into a room that has a wall of monitors showing live footage from dozens of locations across the island.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Ren, look at this. We could set up traps for stragglers like this, maybe.
Could.
Or
He looks at Casey and it's just like, we could kill so many people.
that you're freaking me out a little by how excited you got, but I love that for us.
I'm sorry. I think this is it. I think this is how we win. This is how we do it.
This is how we win, for
I
sure.
do disagree with some of the camera angles that have been chosen here. I feel like this is too many Dutch angles.
All right.
Right, totally.
Yes, it's no 8mm with Nicolas Cage. We all agree there, but
Yes, Ren's favorite movie, 8mm.
I still haven't looked that up. I'm gonna look that up.
It's a dark film.
it's a very dark film.
Okay. Any other exploration we'd like to have happen now?
I'll kick in the door to the left.
Same move.
Right, same move.
You find
Door opens, you just see it from his perspective.
You find a. Oh, by the way, if you are using the monitors in the next contest here, which is called the Scramble Contest, I will let you have a D10 advantage die, but only one of you can use it. Okay?
Oh,
Very cool.
Okay.
so wait,
So you have to use that route.
yeah.
'Cause you can maneuver the cameras,
feel
and
like
you
I'm,
need that
yeah,
detail.
Yeah,
that's
I feel
100% you.
Time to
I feel
shine.
like you're used to
Yeah.
being in Video Village monitoring
yeah.
several cameras at
You're in your
once.
Hey, camera B.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. Who entered this room? Who just knocked open the next door?
The Karate Kid.
Bowie.
All right, Bowie Porter. You find a side room. It has a towering pile of cardboard.
sag room?
God damn it.
Oh, sorry.
You find.
Colby wants nothing to do with SAG.
Colby,
Wait.
you gotta get in there.
Let me do my vocal warm-up exercises. Whether the weather is hot or whether the weather is
The
cold,
weather is cool.
we'll be together whatever the weather. Okay. You enter a side room that contains a towering pile of cardboard storage boxes, damp and moldy.
Pop one open. Look inside.
You find disintegrating paper that shows a bunch of numerical tallies. And if you want to look at this for a little while, I can maybe tell you something.
Well,
yeah, if we have time.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it seems like we have time, I'm not very smart.
he just karate kicks the paper.
Right. I just hold it up and try and punch through it.
Yeah.
Paper. 1-inch punch the paper.
The paper shows.
Is this how you read?
How you read that sign?
You punch the paper, and it's good that you do that because you actually punch through to a book that sort of explains these numerical tallies. You are looking at Deathmatch Island audience figures.
Ooh.
Oh.
But as you dig through, Bowie Porter, you find books for 1957, 1910, and the oldest one you find is from 1892.
What the? What the crap is this?
So that explains that dead guy in the bunker.
I guess. I remember that TV show being on in 1892.
They did it even before they could broadcast it. It's entirely fucked.
Yeah.
I guess this show isn't for people like us. It's for people who walk on red carpets with gold fittings.
Well, he comes out holding one of the books and says, "Guys, you might want to punch this."
Take a punch at this.
Here, guys, give this a punch.
Yeah. Punch this.
This is a pretty interesting punch.
Okay. Punch it down.
Well, I just punched this and I just punched the numbers on this. It's a great summer punch.
It's summer. I'm in a great punch club.
Oh, it's not serious, but it's a great beach punch.
Okay. So, we are now going to give each of you, because you found these audience figures, you can upgrade your redacted die to the higher die.
Oh, cool.
Your redacted die goes from D6 to D8.
Nice.
Awesome.
Oh, wow, that's huge.
That is huge.
Now the contraband shotgun does 2d8.
That's right. No. The redacted die. Redacted is one of your capabilities.
It's one of the 6 or 5.
Yeah. It's like snake mode, social game.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I thought the redacted acquisitions took on the die of the redacted. But no, they're all acquisitions are D4s.
Yeah, they're still D4s, but they can be used in redacted contests.
That's what it is. Okay.
Restricted contests.
Right.
But this is way more huge than that. It means anytime you handle a restricted site, you're not rolling a D6 capability, you're rolling a D8. That's huge.
So is that a permanent upgrade?
Yeah.
That is a permanent upgrade.
Wow.
One more chance to roll a 2, baby.
Of this stream. And now we're going to enter the second part of Phase 2, which is called the Scramble. In Phase 2, you first do your scouting phase, which you've done. Then you do the Scramble. In the Scramble, our competitors on this team must decide whether they are going to defend against threats or whether they are going to try to seize control of the contest. Okay? So you must decide either or. You cannot do both. If threats get through, they will damage your team in some way. But if you seize control of the contest, you not only get to decide one of the capabilities that can be used in the final deathmatch, you also get to decide the fate of the competitors if you win the deathmatch. Meaning you get to kind of help narrate the end of this island.
Oh, cool.
Oh, shit.
So you have to decide whether you want to seize control of the competition in some way right now, get on the offensive, get active, and go out and do something, or whether you want to defend against the threats. And guess what? Why don't I go ahead and narrate what those threats are right now?
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Ren Lamb, you see that Quincy has been digging through a bunch of lockers with, and she's pulling out tuxedos and like sequined dresses and a bunch of like very high-end sort of clothing. And she says, Ren, come here, take a look at this.
and I come to take a look at that.
And as soon as you get close, she has been using a sequined dress to guard a knife, to hide a knife that she had under the dress, and she immediately puts it against your chest and says, "You're a sociopath. I know that I'll be the first one you kill, so I'm taking you out now."
Whoa.
Another threat is while you're looking at the monitor bank, Casey Barlow, you see outside of this VIP landing area a small boat that is coming through the water toward the VIP landing area.
Ruh-roh.
This boat has, let's see how many. It has 4 members of, it looks like, Apthorpe's alliance. And in the front of the boat, pointing toward this VIP cove, is Ted and Trudy, the people that you left back at the blinking light. You know, the blinking
Those
light
assholes.
the blinking light that had the map of the entire island that told you about the VIP area.
Yeah.
Farts.
Should have painted over that.
When we come back, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to find if you defend against these threats or seize control of the contest in some way. And we're going to play some more of Deathmatch Island from Evil Hat Games. Go to evilhat.com and buy a copy. We'll be right back in a minute. Welcome the hell back to Deathmatch Island. We're deep in phase 2 of Island 1. So many competitors have already fallen. Is our team about to fall next? There are some threats assailing them here in the secret VIP landing cove. So we are in part 2 of phase 2, the scramble, where you can decide whether to seize control of the contest in some way or defend against the threats, okay? So I just want to make sure I describe exactly what those things mean, all right? Let's start with the threats, which I just cliffhangered on, all right? So there's a threat that Quincy is going to kill or try to kill Ren Lamb, all right? And there's also a threat that Ted and Trudy have led a team of other competitors here to the cove to come and try to kill you guys, okay? So those are the 2 threats. Now, even though Quincy is about to try to kill our friend Ren, it doesn't mean that Ren has to defend against Quincy. Ren could say, I want to seize control of the contest. The thing is, if no one defends against Quincy doing this right now, Ren is going to get an injury, or maybe more than one injury, okay? So if Ren doesn't defend and no one else defends, the injuries are automatic. If someone defends and fails, Ren is going to get an injury. But it's not like Quincy's about to kill her and take her out of the competition altogether. Ren can say, you know what, in this phase, I want to go off and find Apthorpe and do XYZ, and that's completely fine, okay? So
we can have different, like one of us can say take control and the other person can say defend, and that's okay? Or do we have to have a group consensus?
No, you do not have to have a group consensus.
Got it.
2 of you could defend, 2 of you could seize, 3 of you could defend, 1 of you could seize, etc.
Got it.
Okay, what does seizing control mean? Seizing control means you're going to do something that sets you up for the final deathmatch in a way that benefits you or helps you in some way. So you may go and find your final target, you know, the leader of an opposing alliance. You may lure them into fighting in an area you choose so that you have some kind of advantage. You may do a third thing I haven't thought of, but basically it's you actively trying to literally seize control of the contest by giving yourself some sort of advantage. And that's reflected in the fact that whoever wins control of the seize gets to decide one of the capabilities that are used in the final deathmatch. So if you're not good at deathmatching, you might seize control of the contest to make the other capability you can use, social game, for example. Okay? So let us now, with those threats outlined, with that outboard motorboat pulling up with a gaggle of 4 guys, and they're armed, man. They have like assault rifles, they're pulling handguns, and they're getting out of the boat, and Trudy and Ted are kind of like helping them like get inside this little kind of a compound you're in, this sort of VIP landing area. Ted and Trudy, those traitors, and Quincy's got
abandoned.
Whom you totally abandoned.
How dare they betray us after abandoning them?
Yeah, and then Quincy's
we abandoned them
in
a really nice place.
Quincy's got the knife against Ren's chest and is saying, "You're a sociopath. I can't ally myself with you. You'll kill me first." Let us now decide, are you going to... Everybody can just decide, are they going to seize or defend?
I'm gonna defend by should I say how?
Yeah, well, what threat are you defending against? Just tell me what you're defending against.
Quincy. I'm gonna defend against Quincy, and I'm doing that because I want Ren to be able to use her skills, her deathmatch skills, to help us seize. I don't think Ren is best spent defending. I think she's best seizing, and so I want to defend her so that she can do that.
Smart, I love that. Good strategy. So you're going to defend against Quincy, and we'll find out how you do that in a minute. I will say, just to set the stakes clearly, if you fail at defending against Quincy, Ren is going to take 2 injuries. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. And Colby Snow, what are you going to do?
Well, if I'm at these bank of monitors, I can kind of do either, depending on where everyone else's heads are at. But I feel like seeing the boat and all that stuff, hoping to defend against the peak, because I'm seeing it all play out. Like, I see every angle of them approaching this complex, I would imagine. So I don't know if there's some sort of like security measures I can engage, or some sort of trickery.
Or you would know exactly how we could evade them too.
Yeah.
You'd say, like, I know exactly where they are, where they're going. Like, I know how we could just avoid them completely if you wanted to.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities. We could roll in a minute, and then we could find out exactly how you did it. But I love that idea. And also, if you're going to be the one using the monitors, you're the one that's going to get the D10 advantage die for that.
Great.
Okay?
Love it.
So we have Casey defending against Quincy. We have Colby defending against the team of Abthorpe's people that are breaking in. What is Bowie Porter going to do?
Man, he looks over at Ren being held at knife point by Quincy. And he can't help but think of the opening of the Karate Kid Part 3, where they flash through all the moments from Daniel's past. And he thinks of Sensei John Kreese holding poor Johnny Lawrence in a headlock as Mr. Miyagi and Daniel Russo look on. And Mr. Miyagi steps up to him and saves the day. But he also knows that he could end up getting Ren killed because he's such a buffoon.
At least
so he wants to try and seize control.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he teaches his students control above all things.
Okay, and Okay, I think in a second we'll find out how he's planning on doing that, because he can be specific.
I need time.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Ren Lamb, are you going to seize or defend?
If I am gonna get my hash saved by my proud sister, I want to kill Abthorpe. That's my aim. So I want to seize control, and that would be the way I would try to do it, is by killing Abthorpe.
Find the greatest threat and neutralize it.
That's smart.
That's like they taught us in MI6.
Yep.
Okay, I love that. I love that. And okay, let's see here. We are going to go ahead and put together the production player's dice pool. Let's see. We have to use a capability that makes sense for what we're doing. It feels like the seize and the defend have different capabilities, but I think they need to be the same capability here, because we're no longer playing the scout mode. We're kind of like getting into the real fighting right now. So I am going to say, if we have one competitor trying to kill Abthorpe with a seize, if we've got another competitor trying to stop a group of attackers, and we've got another competitor trying to stop an assassination, it feels like we're already in deathmatch here. I think that makes sense. And we also know that Bowie Porter is going to seize. I think this is going to be a deathmatch competition here. Okay, so that's going to be the main capability that we use. All right?
Wait. I think I'm looking at the rule book, and it says you start with the contest to defend. You follow the normal contest procedure, but allow each competitor player to roll the domain most appropriate to the threat they're opposing. They don't all have to roll the same one.
Thank you for finding that. Okay, excellent.
But there is one target number for both the threats.
Okay, so the production player rolls one big target number, but you can use the capability that makes sense for defending against the threats.
Yeah, so there will be one capability, I think, for Ren, one capability for the boat.
Right, that makes sense. Actually, Ren's not defending, so there'll be one capability for Colby and one capability for our friend Casey.
I said Ren and I meant Quincy, like the threats. The threat of Quincy and the threat of the boat.
Yes.
We'll have.
Yes.
Cool.
Quincy, Colby, Casey, and Bowie. Okay.
Hoping to not get killed by Trudy.
Let's call the whole thing off. Okay, here we go. So let me put together the production player's dice pool here, okay? We know that Abthorpe is involved because our friend Ren is going to go and try to kill him. So I'm going to give him a D8 for being a police officer. He should be good against people trying to kill him. That probably has happened in his job at least once or twice. And then he's going to get an aggressive die of a D8, okay? We know that we're fighting Quincy, and we know that veterinarians know how to use knives, scalpels, and those things. So we have a D8 for Quincy to do that. And Quincy is also focused. There's a D8 for that, so I'm going to give her a D8 for that. Let me find another D8 here. While I'm doing that, let me describe... Oh, here's one. And then also... we are going to put the Vast Alliance into this, because they're here, but they're not really enumerable right now. There's just a couple of them, right? So I'm only going to give them their name die, their kind of like base die, which is a D10. And then on top of that, I am going to give them a die for Trudy and Ted, and Trudy and Ted are only worth 1d6.
That's why we abandoned them.
That's why you abandoned them, exactly. Okay, so that's the full dice pool. I'm going to roll, and the highest number is going to be added to the danger level here, which is... should we make this fun? Yeah, let's go 5. Let's go 5. The last contest was 4. This one's 5. Okay, let me see what I roll here. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Oh,
Stop.
I can't believe it. Okay.
Stop.
All right, I have my target number for the scramble portion of Phase 2. I know what my target number is. And now, let us begin with the defenders. And let us begin with the attack on Ren by Quincy. Please announce your entrance into the competition and tally your die, my friend Casey Barlow.
Casey Barlow. It goes to a confessional where, you know, Casey is, maybe she's in her tracksuit already, maybe she's not. She's probably just like in athleisure, some board shorts. And she goes, well, yeah, you know, there's no I in team, but there are 2 I's in individual sport. No, wait. 3.
3. There are 3.
Yeah. And so Casey Barlow crosses the bottom of the screen, and below it says 3 I's in individual sport. And by that, what she means is, you know, you got to value your teammate. There's no I in team, right? Team is the most important thing, but you're an individual and you can take action and put the team on your back, which she knows from being an individual sport competitor. So I think my name die 6. Mm-hmm. My occupation as an Olympic athlete, as an individual competitor, I think that's a D6. Mm-hmm. And I think that this should be Challenge Beast.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Oh. You think a knife fight in a dark compound should be an athletic competition?
It's just like Price is Right.
Absolutely. It's absolutely a Challenge Beast because I'm tackling this wimp. Like, all I'm doing is physically overpowering her. I don't think this is like...
You're not trying to kill, you're just trying to tackle.
Dexterous. Yeah. I'm just trying to, tackle her.
All right, well...
the knife from her.
Or knock her out.
Remember what a swell guy I am when I say you've convinced me. You can take your Challenge Beast die for this one.
Yes! Okay, and I am going to use... I want to use one of my Walther P99's pistol. Not to shoot her necessarily, but to like maybe pistol whip her, use it as like a weapon, or as like intimidation.
I love the pistol whip idea. Or now intimidation would be a different capability, wouldn't it? It would be
right, that would be social game.
No, social.
Yeah, maybe I can use one for like that later, but this time, no. I'm trying to knock her out. I'm trying to knock her out.
Okay, I love it. Yes, you may, of course, do that. You may use that acquisition as well. So do you have your dice pool together?
I do. Do I also want to spend a point of trust? Yeah, I do. I do want to spend a point of trust. And I'm going to spend a point of trust with Colby, actually, because I was in the monitor room with him. And
maybe you saw this happening.
Yeah, maybe monitors. I saw it on one of the monitors, and maybe Colby like pointed it out to me.
Yeah.
And was like, "Uh-oh,
we got trouble on DCAM."
Right, but like silently, so that like we got trouble on DCAM. So that Quincy doesn't know, but like I see it, so I can go and knock her out. So I'm spending.
Take a D6 for Colby's name. Nice. And hold those dice in your hot little hand. We're going to resolve the defense competitions together, the defense contests together in just a second. Now, let us turn to Colby Snow, who is trying to find some sort of security measures that he can activate in order to neutralize the threat of Abthorpe's men and Trudy and Ted coming through the outer door into the VIP landing area. Please announce your entrance into the contest, Colby, and then let's discuss what your dice pool will be.
All right, Colby's like, looking at all the monitors, and it's cutting back and forth between his eyes. His, like narrowing as he looks at all the different. I really wish this was in 16:9, but whatever. And then it says lower third.
Aspect ratio's all wrong.
It's not the Criterion version of this experience. And then Chiron comes at the bottom. And it says Colby Snow directing the defense. And maybe it just like cuts to like what is clearly outdated behind the scenes bonus features from DVDs of his shitty movies as he's like, it's like B-roll of him on set being like, okay, we want the explosion to be over here. Yeah, and then he's like going to like do the thing where he's like looking through the camera, but he does the naked gun where he closes the wrong eye and puts it against the eyepiece. And you just hear his voiceover being like, whenever I sort of direct action or I'm in charge, the important thing is to visualize every possible angle and to know exactly what could go wrong at any moment. That's why I have 4 Raspberry nominations.
4 Razzies.
And so, and then it cuts back to him at the monitor bank.
Very good. Definitely a D6 for the name. Definitely your occupation die, D6, right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
And then what capability do you think that this is?
So I think because we're in this redacted zone, I can use the redacted die, right?
Oh.
Like we're in a restricted area, right? Like
that makes total sense, and you just upgraded that die.
Yeah, that's a D8.
Yep.
That's a D8 now. Yeah,
Yep,
I'm gonna say that is the capability that makes the most sense. Thank you.
Yep.
Yes.
I've got the D10 from the bonus you gave me for being at the monitors.
Yeah. Anything else?
And then I'll just use a point of trust with maybe with Ren, because it's like this is my time to show that I'm also lethal in some way. Just want to impress Ren.
I'm going to just say this. These 2 defense contests are dangerous. So if you fail them, you won't just mark a point of fatigue, you'll mark an injury. Okay? And if you fail them, you understand that there are further consequences because you're defending right now. If Casey fails, Ren will take 2 injuries. And if our friend Colby fails, I think that we're going to give an advantage die to the other team in the final deathmatch. Okay?
Makes sense, yeah.
I think that they're going to take control of the monitor room, and then they're going to have an advantage in the final deathmatch by being able to communicate that reconnaissance. Okay, here we go. It is time to roll. I have the target number right here.
Here we go, baby. I hate everything.
Oh no.
My God.
Okay.
Ooh.
Add the 2 highest.
Uh-huh.
You didn't take any acquisitions, so
Nope.
there are no D4s involved. Okay.
Yep.
All right, let us start with Casey Barlow, though.
Okay, I rolled a 9. I rolled a 5 and a 4, and then I rolled a 2 with my Walter P99, so that is an 11.
Nice.
You rolled an 11 for the contest.
Yes.
That is a fail.
Oh no!
You are wrestling with Quincy, but she manages to get the knife into Ren's back as Ren exits the compound to go and deal with Abthorpe.
Oh no!
So
I'm
Ren
so
is now
sorry, Ren.
Ren. Well, actually, I shouldn't just narrate it. I should let you tell me what happens. Would you please describe what happens, Casey?
Oh God, yeah. I think I was going to like sneak up on her in my expert crouch, and try and tackle her.
Quiet as a surfer.
Quiet as a Maui surfer and pistol whip her and knock her out. And I think, as a veterinarian, she's got those reflexes from dealing with like cats. And veterinarians say there's nothing more dangerous than a cat in a vet room. And so I think
it's written on the wall of every vet.
Yeah. And I think I underestimated her awareness and her reflexes, her cat-like reflexes from dealing with angry cats. And I think I wasn't able to surprise her.
Very good. You take an injury, and Ren takes 2 injuries.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry.
Brutal.
So she not only shanks Ren a couple times before Ren gets out of the compound, and Ren can kind of narrate what happens there when Ren goes to do her seize contest, but she also slashes you once. She slashes you once, Casey, and we'll find out exactly where Quincy goes here once all the dice have been rolled on the defense contest. Now, tell me how it went down there, Colby Snow. How did it go in the monitor room?
Not great.
Yeah.
Rolled a 1 on that D8, And then on that D10, I rolled a 3. That was my second highest number. So I rolled a 3 and a 4, which, as you know, equals 7. Out of all those.
That's your total?
Yep.
Oh, man, that's real bad.
That's not good.
You are trying to turn on some kind of locking mechanism, or you realize that there are gun turrets like there were at the blinking light, but when you turn them on, like you're like, wait, do I have to aim these things? And they're like going like the wrong way, and you're like, oh, it's kind of revert. Like if I push up, they go down.
Right,
okay.
Right.
And while you're doing all that, you realize that the enemies are no longer on the monitor; they are in the room with you, and they are kind of filling up the room, and they have their guns out. And
it's also perfectly timed with one of the monitors just going to like color bars and just hearing.
Yeah.
And Colby, you at least get pistol whipped for 1 injury there. And whether Colby remains in the VIP landing area complex or whether Colby exits in some way, that is up for you to narrate, because I want to know. I want to hear what happens from you now.
Well, what is this second, like, on some of these injuries have like a pip already in them? Does that mean like if I end up getting that injured that bad, something happens?
Yes, if
like
you end up getting that bad, injured that bad, something happens.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So every second injury, something happens, looks like.
Right? Well, here's what happens. It's actually a good thing. When you suffer fatigue and have no boxes left to mark an injury. When you mark the box with the little dot in it, you choose an advance.
Ooh.
When you mark your last injury box, your competitor dies.
Got it. Okay. Good to know. What happens to Colby? Yeah, I think he turns around. He sees Trudy, who's just like, I think he just scoffed at before. And she fucking just pistol whips him upside the head. Oh, God! I need these eyes to see my work. You ever heard of a blind director? I think they like take him captive.
I love it. I love that. I think that's really cool. So Colby has been taken captive.
Got like zip tie handcuffs or something. Ow!
Oh wow, you're just piling on your own character. You're like,
this is just how I am. There's
a gag.
Keep beating me and telling me that I'm a failure.
I love it when players help me out like that. Okay, that all happens and is true. Now I'm going to turn to Bowie Porter because we need to kind of. I want to know more about Bowie's seize contest here. What is the approach and goal? What are you doing to seize control of Deathmatch Island right now?
Bowie looks over Colby's shoulder at the monitors, and he's looking for like a scene where the most people seem to be gathered, and we'll say that he sees one, but it's like. Not on the other side of the island, but it's pretty far away. And in Colby's mind, he thinks of this as a tournament, not unlike the All Valley Karate Tournament from Karate Kid Part 3 and 1. And he says to himself, "Wait a minute! If the win condition is half the people on the island have to die, then if we just survive long enough for half of them to die, we could move on." No matter how bad the stakes are. So he wants to get to an area with a bunch of people and like sabotage the area so a ton of people die at one time to help seize control for the Plum Group.
I love this. I can't wait to hear how he's going to sabotage a bunch of people so that they die.
Yes.
But it sounds like he's mainly like running across the island to get there. Is that sort of what's going on?
Yeah, because I want to use Challenge Beast only with the strength of his speed to get there as fast as possible because we're on a ticking clock. He leaves, he's like, "Y'all set here, Colby?" And he takes off and doesn't know that Colby's about to get captured. But I think like, I don't know, I don't know how much liberty I'm allowed to take, but I'm looking for like, I imagine a group like they're in a melee around a transformer. And he wants to like take a shotgun and just like, boom, blow up the transformer and there's water nearby or something and they all just fucking get electrocuted.
Oh no, Bumblebee.
I've added several elements to this dream, but yeah, Transformer, water.
I love the dream. I think the dream is a good dream.
We love the dream.
So keep in mind, if he wins this, he's going to get to choose a bonus capability that they can use in the final death match. It sounds like he's going to really break up the enemy alliance a lot by electrocuting a bunch of people at once. So please enter the contest and tally up your dice pool.
Okay. Chiron comes on. Bowie Porter, 3rd degree martial artist at Tiger Greenberg's Martial Arts Academy.
That was the SFX package.
That says something like, it's a quote from Mr. Miyagi. It's like, if karate used defend honor, defend life, karate means something.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's the one quote I could find from part 3. All the good quotes are in part 1.
I love that part 3 is his favorite.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. It's like Miyagi won't train him for a tournament. Miyagi will train him to defend his honor.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's only then.
Okay, great. Take your name die.
What's your point?
Take your occupation die.
Wow.
Because of how you described it for me. And I think that for your C's contest, you're running across there and then you're doing target shooting. I'd say that is definitely a challenge beast die.
Chapow.
And then any acquisitions you're going to use? It sounds like you're using a gun.
Yeah, I will use my last point of trust with Colby. That'll bring it down to a 0. Got this, Colby? That'll give me another D6.
Show me your stuff. I've worked with Jason Statham.
And then, I mean, I've been doing so poorly. Part of me wants to use my contraband shotgun, but I think to stay with the reality of the scene, I'm going to use the Walther. It's more of a, I need to stand far away if I want to pull off this shot, so that'll give me 1d4.
1d4
Unless I'm allowed to fire both Walthers and get 2d4.
So I just want to set the scene. So you have found on the monitor a place where it looks like a bunch of people are already engaged in like the final death match. Like they're in like a big melee with each other, and they don't realize that there's a large electrical transformer kind of in the center of where they're fighting in this sort of like industrial site. And you are going to shoot the transformer in such a way. Well, let's find out what happens. There's
a lake. They're fighting like right at the edge of a little lake.
Fighting in a lake. There's a big wireless radio on the very edge of a roof.
A toaster.
There's a toaster
in the lake.
They're all in a big bathtub. They're all in a large bathtub.
Like over to this giant puddle.
Everybody, meet at the lake with the unstable transformer for our big death match at noon, okay? See you there.
While all of this is beautiful and wonderful Imagineering, I'm going to go ahead and mold the reality as the game master and say, there's not a lake. Okay.
It's a river.
It's not a river.
It's an oil spill.
It's a sprinkler that's going back and forth.
It's an oil spill.
It could be like a giant like propane tank or something.
And it starts an electrical fire.
I love that. And in fact, it's not my job to completely narrate what happens. We have to find out how Bowie's C's contest goes. So Bowie's got his dice pull, and finally we turn to Ren Lamb. Ren, you're going to go kill Abthorpe.
Yeah, so Ren, like more than anything, she wants to turn around and kill Quincy. But she knows the time is of the essence, and so she's like clutching at this wound on her back. She runs out into the wild to hunt down Abthorpe and to kill him.
And I imagine with those injuries, like she's trailing blood through the jungle, maybe holding her side, but she's been trained to operate even in this kind of wounded condition. So please announce her entry into the contest and gather her dice.
Okay, so the announcer comes on. Ren Lamb! Her stepsister calls her the giant coral snake of the Isle of Wight. This lamb has got wolf's clothing.
Well, the writers on Deathmatch Island.
It's very convoluted. It's
they got a thing on the fly with some of this stuff.
Yeah. They're super into animal metaphors, though, and I like that.
Yeah, I just love them, like, incredibly convoluted, clunky animal metaphors, whatever they talk about.
I like before when they said that only now was the venom getting deadly.
Right, I love that.
Not that innocuous venom.
Right. Not venom's normally harmless.
Right.
All right, D6 name die.
I actually, since I am wounded, too, I am going to use an advancement to advance my name die to a D8.
Ooh, wait, can you advance right when that happens? Or do you have to do it between islands? Oh my god, what a great question. Wait, I mean, you might be able to do what you're doing. Oh, damn. Oh, let me see. I'm just looking for advances here. You know what? It's a one-shot. Do it.
It's a one-shot.
All right.
It's a one-shot. Do it.
Awesome.
Nice.
Okay, name
so-
die D8.
D8. Occupation die is now a D10.
Wait, it does. You don't advance everything. You advance one
No,
thing.
I know. This is from before.
When did you get
no, sorry, no. Occupation dies a D8. Occupation is another D8.
He and Casey get D10s.
And then Deathmatch dies a D10.
Okay, Deathmatch. Okay, so.
No, you just add you just add that D10 to your pool. You don't have to replace one of your die with the D10. You get to just add it.
You guys both succeeded the scouting segment.
Right, that is a D10 advantage die. That is a D10 advantage die. It is a separate die. So you should have a name die.
Mine,
I've allowed you to advance your name die, so that should be. And actually, I don't even think. You know what? I'm so sorry, Skid, because I'm just trying to make sure I get these rules right. Your name die only goes up when you get enough followers. Okay. So this advancement, and I really want to look up this advance.
Yeah,
I want to find
what is that?
advance and see if we get this correct. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I know it does go up when you get
Here it
followers,
is.
but-
The advance only happens between islands. After you've done your jury votes between islands, you mark one advance on the character sheet. So I'm afraid you may not do that yet, my friend. So you have a D6 for your name die still because you don't have enough followers. You have a D6 for your occupation because your occupation starts at a D6. Then you have a D8 for deathmatch because that's your best capability.
Right.
And then you have that extra D10 that you got from winning the last contest.
Right.
And then is there anything else you'd like to add?
And then I'm going to use my other Remington shotgun.
Great, Remington shotgun. And how many D4s does that give you?
2D4.
All right.
So you can add. Yes.
I'm going to use.
Ooh, and this is fun. Oh, sorry.
I'm going to use a trust die from Colby for his giving me instructions based on what he saw on the monitors.
Great, perfect. Yeah, Colby, man, you were the main man in this competition.
Yeah.
Okay, so with all of those together, and I have my target number, don't I? Do I have it? Where did I put it? Oh my god!
Also,
wait, I haven't rolled my target number yet.
Oh.
So it's different for us where we're seizing?
Yes, it's different for you where you're seizing, so let's go.
Yeah, it is.
We have the same target number, even though we're doing two different things.
Right. Even though you're doing two different things, you have the same target number, but your capabilities that you chose were different, okay?
Yeah.
So let's see here. I'm going to say that we're definitely dealing with that big alliance, right? And they get a D10 because they're a big alliance, but they're no longer enumerable, so I'm taking them down to a D8 there because you're going to a big concentration of them. And I am going to give them loyal because they're kind of protecting our friend Abthorpe, who our friend Ren is trying to kill. So I'm going to give them loyal for that because who knows, one of them might even jump in front of a bullet for him or something like that. Then we're going to do Abthorpe, okay? Abthorpe, he's police, so he knows how to deal with people trying to kill him. He is aggressive, so he fights back when you attack him. Entitled, no. Loud, no. I don't think that those apply here. Is there anything else that I would want to add? No, I think that that's pretty good, and the danger level is going to remain what it was for the defend contests. Here we go. And I have added my dice together. +5. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay. I've got my target number for the Seas contest. You gentlemen may roll.
Okay.
All right.
Wait, I have a question.
No questions. It's happening now.
Okay, no, it's not a question. It's about the advance. I think Skid
We're
does
going to
get
talk
the
about
advance
advances
instantly.
now. We're about to resolve a Seas contest.
This is important.
But it would be important for that. It would be
player
important for
move.
that.
Classic
It
player
would.
move. You're in the middle of a climax, and the player goes, "Wait, remember that thing we were talking about 10 minutes ago?"
She did try. She tried to say this a while ago.
It is a
I did
small
try to say
detail
this.
about the XP system, but can we stop the climax for a minute to talk about how advancement works for my
This is
character?
important. It could be the difference between Skid passing or not passing.
All right, please give me your question.
It's not a question. It's actually a statement.
Okay,
This is more of a comment.
Skid gets the advance instantly. Skid gets this advance instantly.
oh well,
because-
that's sort of at loggerheads with the thing I just clearly read.
Well, every competitor earns one advance between islands, but notable injuries unlock advances. And when you earn an advance, you mark one of the boxes on your competitor sheet and permanently gain that benefit. It doesn't say that it only happens in between islands.
Your Honor.
It does say that everybody does automatically earn one between islands, but it doesn't say that advances can only be activated in between islands. It says when you earn an advance, mark one of the boxes. There are four different kinds of advances you can take, and you permanently gain that benefit.
I mean, from
think
a
that's-
game design standpoint, it wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense if you suffer injuries and cannot level up if you were to then die before you're able to go to the next island.
So when Skid hit that second injury box that has the pip, I think he instantly gains that advancement, whichever one of those four that he chooses. But also he has to roll a d20 and see which notable injury he gets.
Oh, so definitely do that.
Okay, I'm convinced, and I apologize for my angry outbursts.
It's okay, it was funny.
Mary Lou just closes this 70s style briefcase and like walks out.
I rest my case.
For your honor, we rest our
So,
case.
Skid, Ren can upgrade one of her capabilities, but not her name die, okay?
Okay.
So one of those
Yes.
can go up a die level before you roll. And if you've already rolled, just roll again. And so,
okay, all right. So this doesn't actually affect this roll because I'm using my deathmatch die anyway.
well, if you upgraded your deathmatch die, then it would affect it.
Or advance your occupation.
Or
So
if
you would
advance
okay.
your
So
occupation.
No, yes, okay, yeah.
do you see the four you could do? There are four.
Yeah, okay, so I will upgrade my deathmatch to from a D8 to a D10.
Wait,
Okay,
I
great.
think, correct me if I'm wrong. What is that thing that's like advanced D6 capability to a D? Oh, a D6 to a D8 costs 2, but a
No, you
D8
get two of
to a
those.
D10 only costs
you
1.
can do that twice.
That's awesome.
And then advancing a D8 capability, which my deathmatch is, to a D10, as long as it's not to the redacted capability, I can do that
That's
too.
awesome.
Great. All right. Thank you, Mary Lou. Once again, you saved my bacon.
That's your back, girlfriend.
What's up, girl?
That's payback for letting Quincy stab you.
All
Sorry.
right, I just want,
Yeah.
let's roll and see what happened to you with Quincy
right.
as well.
Okay. 11.
And 11 says that you have a wounded leg.
She slashed you in your femoral artery.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna
Sweep the
somehow
leg, Johnny.
I'm gonna make you pay for that in some way. If you say you're running, I'll be like, "Oh, think again, buddy." All right. So I just want to make sure I get these advances correct here. Okay. When you mark one, you earn an advance. When you mark an injury, you have also suffered a notable injury. Okay. Your competitor earns one advance between islands. I'm not. Where are you seeing all of this?
Right there. Right there.
Yeah.
Where is it giving the things that you can advance?
Oh,
It's
right
on
beneath
the-
it.
on the
Do you see the
character
check
sheet.
marks?
Oh, on
it's
the
also-
character
it's also right beneath.
sheet. So the brilliant
It's
thing
on the
about
character sheet.
the brilliant
And
thing
it's
about
in
Evil
there.
Hat games is that they always really explain everything on the character sheet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm obviously convinced. Are we ready to roll now? Could we do our climax
I'm
now?
ready.
Or would anybody
Yeah.
like to talk about how food works? All right, here we go. Roll your dice.
Okay.
Looks like Skid just rolling on the floor.
I think Skid. I think Skid did drop his dice onto the floor or something.
I like to just watch him scatter.
I like to chase him like a cat chases a mouse.
Okay. Ren got a 17.
Wow. Ren got a 17. Okay, and how did you do, Bowie?
Bowie got a 14.
Okay.
Okay. Ren, you succeed. Bowie, you fail.
Oh, man.
The target number was a 15.
Oh, my
Ouch.
God.
Yeah, I rolled really high that time. Okay, so
Bowie.
that's okay. So Bowie, you were using weapons, so you must. That means you were definitely in a dangerous contest. You must take 1 injury now.
Okay, so that's my first injury box.
Just the worst luck in the San Fernando Valley.
And then here's what happens. So you, my friend Ren, are going to decide what the extra capability, the free capability everyone can use in the deathmatch contest that will end our story is going to be. And you're also allowed to narrate kind of who lives and who dies at the very end here. Like, if you wanted Quincy to definitely die, you could narrate that at the end, but that's if you win the deathmatch. If you die in the deathmatch, I, as the production player, kind of would decide. But right now, let's just describe what happened in our Seas contests. Let us start with Bowie Porter. What happened there?
All right, so Bowie goes, there was no lake. What he saw on the monitor that looked like a lake was just a blue tarp. And he's like, shit. Maybe if I just fire at the transformer, that'll do it. And he takes aim and he hits the transformer and it just sparks. And they all just stand there. Like it doesn't do anything. And he starts running back.
I love it, and I think that they run toward you as well.
Chasing them through the jungle like Ace Ventura.
Surprise, Ren. This is the same place where Abthorpe is currently located. So I think Abthorpe is like maybe up on a building or somewhere watching all of this go down. So you tell us what happened with you, Ren.
Okay, so she goes slower than she had initially intended to go because of her injury, but knowing like so much information about the sort of layout of the area and where everyone is, she's able to plot a course that gets her to Abthorpe still in very short order. And she's sort of avoiding some of patrols and guards. She makes her way up to the top of the building where Abthorpe is silently, and she sort of like steps out from behind a structure on the roof, like an air conditioning structure on the roof. Says, Abthorpe! And he turns around and she just blows him away and he falls down off the building. And then, out of complete shock that like this woman appeared out of nowhere, killed their boss, like it stuns his crew for just long enough for her to disappear again and get back to her friends.
Beautiful. Abthorpe, his big, thick mustache, bald head, his broken aviators lays at the bottom of a building on a concrete slab near a transformer that is slightly sparking. A big pool of blood is pooling around him, and Abthorpe is out of the competition, but now it's time for the final death match. This is the big one. This is how we decide who lives and who dies finally. Only half the competitors will make it to the next island, and it's happening now. Yes, we are in phase 3 of the deathmatch. So the capability for the deathmatch is always the deathmatch capability. But because you won the Seas contest, Ren, you can tell us what other capability can be used here for free.
Let's see. So you guys are good. You have social, challenge.
That's it. I think those are
and
the two.
redacted.
And redacted.
Yep. Someone has a better redacted. Normally redacted's only allowed to be used in restricted areas, but if you guys somehow convince me that that's the other capability, I'll allow it.
Yeah.
We're in a redacted area. We're using maybe those monitors. I don't know.
Yeah,
we
like maybe we can
that.
carry over that application of the monitors into this, like somehow.
Although I will mention your monitor your monitor duty guy has been captured and zip-tied according to his own confession.
That's right.
Just raising the stakes like a true filmmaker.
That's right.
Why it could be redacted is theoretically all of their weapons, unless they have redacted weapons, shouldn't work. And our zip guns work. So, right?
Oh, because we're in a redacted zone.
Interesting. But you're not all in a redacted zone. So the way we can narrate this is that everybody gets together somehow, or maybe we can kind of explain how people are in different locations. I don't think it matters, right? But I do think that the first action of the Abthorpe's people who captured Colby would be to get him out of there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, is it easier, Jared, if you tell us sort of what the setup is for this climactic thing, and then we can kind of decide?
It is easier. Thank you for reminding me how game mastering works. Abthorpe's dead, but he still has a lot of guys. By a lot, I mean half his alliance is gone, but there's still some people left.
Would have been more if there was a lake.
If there had been a lake, there'd be like almost nobody left.
They're just killing each other on this tarp.
Completely different story.
He thought it was a lake.
But you see that there's this big muscular guy that you saw on the roof. He's got like a buzz cut, and he kind of looks like John Cena but uglier. And he is kind of now. He was up there on the roof, like right beside Abthorpe, when you assassinated Abthorpe, Ren, and he's kind of finally gathering everybody together. And you can see that his guys were the ones that won that melee below, okay? And they are all advancing to kill your friend Bowie Porter right now, all right? And not only that, as they do that, they are bringing another car is arriving. It's a Hyundai. What was the Hyundai?
Oh, some insane
Hyundai pony.
The Hyundai pony is arriving, and in the back of the Hyundai pony is a tied up Colby Snow. You can see all this from your perch, Ren. I don't know where Casey is. Maybe Casey can tell me in a minute. But Ren
comes surfing in.
Ren, having won the Seas contest, is in a perfect little hiding place, perch or something, watching all of this. Bowie, you're kind of on that hillside with a group of, let's see how many people are running toward you right now. There are at least like 20 guys running toward you right now. That's all that's left of Abthorpe's forces. They're running up, and the Hyundai pony has arrived with Ted, Trudy, 4 dudes, and dragging along our friend Colby Snow with it. Where do you think you are, Casey? Did you follow them over here, or are you going to do something back at the VIP landing lounge?
Character-wise, I feel like I would stay and try and hunker myself past that like middle door that we didn't move through. But that feels hard strategically. I kind of feel like I should be near my competitors.
Well, that does make more sense to me. And also, keep in mind, you traded trust with all these people, and you can clearly see on the monitors that they're in trouble.
Yeah, they're in trouble. So I think that she would try and trail them, follow the tracks, maybe the tire tracks of the pony that took Colby Snow, and try and maybe Ren like spots me trailing them, tracking them, and I can meet up with her. But yeah, I'm gonna follow that car with Colby Snow, which is also heading towards Bowie and Ren.
I'm gonna let your roll determine whether you're like able to team up with Ren or something like that. Like if you roll well, you can narrate all of that. But for now, let's just say that you ran after Colby's kidnappers, and you're arriving at the site where all of this is going down. So now I will ask Ren again, what extra capability do you think will be useful in this deathmatch competition?
I think maybe social, just so that Colby would have a better chance of getting free himself. Like since he's the most compromised right now, like maybe that would help us more.
That's cool. I love that.
Or I mean, because the other two of you have,
or challenge beast,
challenge because like two of you. I think we'll do challenge. We'll do challenge.
Oh, sorry, Colby.
It's
Good luck. Okay, great. Yeah, two people have challenge beast. It totally makes sense. So just make sure that when you narrate what you did, you tell me how challenge beast was important. Okay, so now let us go ahead and arrange the final production dice pool. Okay. Here we goddamn go. First, the Alliance. The Alliance. I told you they get the D10 for just being there, for there being like 20 guys. But they're no longer enumerable. They're no longer enumerable at all. And actually, we
totally
said
count them.
That went down to a D8, I said. And then they're loyal, but guess what? Their leader's gone. So I'm not giving them that die. I'm not going to give them that die.
They're loyal to a ghost.
Yeah.
But they do have this other guy that looks like Ugly John Cena with them, and I think he is an extremely dangerous guy. His name's Collins, and he is a former SWAT team member, so he gets a D8 for that. And then he's brutal. He's supposed to get a D10 for that. And he's also cold and impulsive. I don't think it's time to be cold. And I think he is going to be impulsive there, so he gets a D6 for that. Okay, so I'm holding I'm holding 2 D8s, 2 D10s, and a D6. And I think the danger level here... Oh, shit, let's make this fun. Danger level... No, we'll keep it at 5. And this is a contest where, you know, you're going to get injured if you fail, and you might even, because this is the final contest, you might even die. And that's sort of open to how we narrate it. Okay, let me get my target number here. All right, I've got my target number. And now each of you may enter the contest, announce your competitor, and put together your final dice pool for the deathmatch.
And we're all using challenge beast? Is that how it works?
You get a bonus capability. You have to use deathmatch, but you get a free bonus die for challenge beast.
Oh, we have to use deathmatch? Like I can't do my social thing?
That's correct. In the final competition, you must use deathmatch, and our friend Ren has also made challenge beast you get that
secondary
as well.
So I get a D6 and a D8 for that. But now we have to.
That's correct. That's right. Bowie Porter, announce your entrance into the competition. 20 guys are running up a hill toward you with guns and weapons.
Let me ask you this. We're not in a redacted area, right? And I can't get to a redacted area?
You are not in a redacted area. You cannot get into a redacted area. And furthermore, this is not a competition where you can kind of like choose a capability, right? You must use deathmatch, and you may also use the one that our friend Ren has determined for this final outcome.
Okay.
So there is a tarp.
There is a blue tarp.
We've established there's a tarp.
There's a tarp. There's definitely a tarp.
So I can't use my contraband shotgun. That's why I wanted to know if I was in a redacted area. So.
Oh, understood. Yeah, I'm afraid not.
My only weapon available to bolster my chances here is the wall.
Wait, stop. I'm sorry. It may be a redacted item, but it makes sense to me that a contraband shotgun would work anywhere, right?
You would still, you could reuse that anywhere.
Well, it was a redacted acquisition, so my understanding was those things can only be used in redacted.
No. Like they can't be turned off.
I don't think so.
No.
They just...
No. I think they can be used anywhere.
Oh.
Like I think standard items can't be used in redacted areas, but like, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, and it also just makes sense to me that a shotgun that's not like locked would be able to be used anywhere, right? I mean, like that's just logic. So yes, you may use that.
All right. Well, the reality is though.
Sorry,
even
one second. I'm so sorry. I have to go to the bathroom so bad that I like actually can't handle it. I'm so sorry.
It's going to take me that long to figure out my moments.
Okay, I'll be right back.
We'll all go through our stuff.
You know, I imagine the shotgun's gonna have a little bit of a spray, but it's not gonna kill 20 guys. So Bowie is just like, he's gotta announce himself into the competition, so it goes to him in the confessional. And it's not clear whether this was taped before or after the result of this competition. I've faced a lot of tough odds in my life. never had parents, and the parents that adopted me died as well. I've won tournaments, I've lost tournaments. But this is one tournament I can't afford to lose. And now it comes to him, and he's just running and running, and you see that look in his eyes. You see a flashback of those kids being like, "You'll never win the tournament," kicking him out, and he just stops. And he turns and just levels the shotgun, closes his eyes, and fires.
Great. Assemble your dice pool.
All right, so it's going to be name die, D6. Occupation, D6. We're using Deathmatch, which is a D6, but then I also get the D8 for Challenge Beast.
And then they've got to run up a hill, forested hill toward you. It makes sense that Challenge Beast is used there.
Yeah, I mean, and he's closing out. He's hoping for like the shotgun to hit. So, like he just has. He's praying basically at this point. And he'll use 2d4 for the redacted shotgun. Okay. And I'll throw in a challenge. I'll use another trust with. It has to make sense here. Like, how would Ren bolster me or Casey bolster me here?
Well, Ren is in a good position and maybe distracting them in some way or something like that.
Because my plan is to just sort of be in like a sniper's nest and be covering everyone I can see.
All right, so like maybe some covering fire there, and then I'll have another D6. I'm putting it all on the line.
That's a nice chunky pool. I'm gonna now turn. Since Ren was just describing her strategy, I'm gonna turn to Ren now. Ren, announce your entry into the competition and give me your pool.
Ren Lamb. Her mother calls her the 10-legged tarantula of Norfolk. But she's far more deadly.
10 legs? What do you mean?
She's far more deadly.
Guys.
There's a lot of nicknames.
There's just like one writer on the Deathmatch Island staff that's just like taking Quaaludes or something.
How many legs does a spider have? It's 10, go!
He's their Chiron guy.
Go.
They did their research. This is what her family called her.
Or are these animal metaphors some sort of secret code that production is sending to the competitors or the viewers?
Shit, I meant crab!
Yeah.
All right, my friend. Ren, assemble your dice pool.
Okay, so she is going to be using like the zip gun as just like a pipe rifle, and she's like using it to cover like her comrades as they attempt their various challenges. And so I'm going to get the D6 for the name die, D6 for the occupation, D10 for deathmatch, which leveled up, and then I'm using the I'm going to use a trust die from I think I have 2 left with Bowie. So I'm going to use one from Bowie as he sort of like covers my position.
And I think you should also take your Challenge Beast die, because you can. Why not? Why not throw your D6 for Challenge Beast in there?
Okay, great. And then I'm using the zip gun, so that's another D4.
Okay, great. Another robust dice pool. And now let us turn to Casey Barlow. Announce your entry and then assemble your dice pool.
You see Casey, grim-faced and like bleeding. I think she's got blood running down her face. It's very cinematic. She's like jogging like a steadfast, like an athlete's pace, right? Like Terminator. It's dark in this jungle. She's beelining, and it goes Casey Barlow, the point break of no return. And Casey knows she's in the final act of this movie, and that it's do or die. And she has to decide whether, she wants to be a Bodhi or a Johnny Utah. And so she's going after Colby, and she's really hoping that her other teammates are able to lend her a hand, or she's able to lend them a hand. So Casey Barlow, name die, 6. Athlete, name die, or occupation die, 6. Challenge Beast, D8.
Deathmatch.
What did we say it was? Deathmatch.
Deathmatch.
D6. I am spending... I'm spending both my acquisitions. I've got my Walter P99, my last one. I had 2. Got my last Walter P99, or maybe my last,
Zip gun.
You know what's the, you put it in the bottom of it?
The clip.
Ammunition? Clip. The last clip, my last clip in my Walter P99. And I'm using my small luxuries. I'm eating a little granola bar.
Can you use 2 acquisitions in one contest?
Not sure. Not sure.
Mary Lou always pushes the boundaries of
Pushing? This is a final death match.
Well, trying to save our lives.
Of course you should.
If you say I can't, I totally understand that.
Let me see. It says, before you roll a contest, you may erase a mark on an acquisition to roll a bonus d4. Every acquisition has a tier indicated by a number. When you use 1, roll a number of d4 equal to the tier, and the highest d4. So that's not really telling me only 1.
It says
it's not really
and.
saying that. It does say and.
But
it's in the singular.
It does say and. I actually, I think
also,
it's
as we mentioned before,
1.
the food is really you're not stuffing food in your mouth as you go to rescue Colby. I mean,
just
like,
trying
come
to
on.
get an extra power bar in.
You never know. You never know.
The food is to
athletes are all about
between islands.
Calories.
I clearly stated that. I clearly said the food is to recuperate.
You did say that. You did say that. Okay, so I'm using my 1 acquisition. It's going to be my semi-automatic pistol. And I am spending a point of trust with Ren and Colby and Bowie.
Wait, can you do that?
I do know you can do that. There specifically says
what?
On page 73, the top of page 73 in italics, you may spend more than 1 trust in a contest roll.
What?
Go for it. I believe you. Go for it.
Good homework.
So I am adding 3 d6.
Wow.
1 for each of my competitors. And I'm hoping that Ren sees me and finds me and we can team up. I'm hoping that Colby knows that I will never leave you behind. And Bowie knows that he is my teammate and I will always back him up. Perhaps there's a flashback to us on the boat in our plum tracksuits. And I say, dudes, I know I just met you, but I would die for you. And you're my team. And there's no way that we get through this without each other. And as Bodhi says in Point Break, if you want the ultimate, you've got to be willing to pay the ultimate price. It's not tragic to die doing what you love.
You just Googled that.
You couldn't see me reading off of IMDb.
Just Google.
And
oh my God, there's more.
Last thing. Yeah, my D10 advantage dice that I was saving for this moment.
That's right. You did save that up. Okay, perfect. Okay, take your amazing dice pool and shake it for a long time because now we are going to turn to Colby Snow. Colby, tell me about what you're doing here.
I didn't roll.
Announce your entry to the contest and then tell us your dice pool.
Okay. What are the names? It's Trudy and who?
Trudy and Ted.
Ted. Okay. So Colby is like zip tied in the back seat as they're driving this Hyundai Pony, kind of slowly rolling up, and he's like sweating and looking nervous. And, we as the audience are thinking about when we first saw him on the boat and how nervous and unassuming he seemed until he finally remembered who he was. And he's kind of like, what is his identity? Who is he? And he's sweat dripping. And then it just cuts to a confessional where he's just sort of looking into the middle distance. And then you hear somebody behind the camera like, Colby? He's like, huh, yeah. I don't know if I'm a good person. But when I'm on that island, I'm going to be a good person. And then it just cuts to Kobe as he leans forward and he looks to Ted and Trudy. He goes, I'll give you $500,000 if we drive away right now. I'll give you $500,000, and I promise you I'm going to put you both in leading roles in my next film. It's going to be about a mousy woman and a lumpy man, and they're going to be heroes, and we're going to drive out of here, and we're going to be winners, and we're going to leave everybody behind. So drive! So he's going to...
Lumpy?
So he's trying to convince them to just drive away. And maybe he's like, and if you hit a couple people on the way out, then that's great too, because that'll be less people chasing us. So plow through everybody.
He may try to convince them, but he may not use social game in this contest.
I know. It's got to be deathmatch.
Okay. So go ahead and assemble your dice pool.
Okay. Name, Colby Snow. D6 for filmmaker, because he's promising them to put them in his next movie. 1d6 for deathmatch, and then it was another it was challenge beast as well, right? So that's also a d6
for challenge beast
for me. Ironically, he'll spend trust that people have in him, not knowing he's trying to leave them behind. So definitely Casey, because she just set that up, and also because I think they confiscated his contraband shotgun. He, when he's like, just kill anybody on the way out. So like Ted's got like a shotgun and he's like shakily pointing out the passenger side window. So I'm gonna get the 2d4 bonus for that.
Okay, great. All right, everybody, I've got my target number. Here's the deal. This is the final deathmatch, and it's the final episode of our Deathmatch Island coverage. If you fail here, you die. Except, because Ren won the seas, if Ren wins here, if Ren beats the target number, she can save one person who failed.
Oh my God. This is amazing.
All right, here we go.
Wow, this is going to be bad. I've succeeded on one contest in 2 episodes. Okay. All right, so you add how many d6s? Just one?
You add 2 of your 2 highest die, then you add the highest of your d4s to that.
All right, so your 2 highest die and 1 d4.
Well, yeah, you roll, even if you rolled 3 d4s, you just add the highest one.
Okay. I mean, okay. I don't want to say anything.
All right, I'm going to reveal the target number now, everybody. You ready? It was 13. All right. So, who failed? Oh no! Oh no!
Unreal.
That's shocking. Okay.
I think I did this wrong.
And of those who succeeded, what did you roll? What was your final tally?
I got a 13.
I got a 14.
Bowie Porter got an 18.
Yeah!
There we go.
He maxed out all an 8 on a d8, a 6 on a d6, and a 4 on a d4.
Wow.
There it
maximum
is.
Possible score.
That's amazing. So Bowie Porter is the winner here. Let's first go to Ren Lam and have Ren Lam explain what happened. And Ren Lam, remember, this ends with your death.
I think she's just like, can I still kill Quincy?
You cannot, because if you
then I fall out of the building and I die from the fall.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, you can kill Quincy. Go ahead.
Take Quincy with you.
I'll still die. I really want to kill Quincy.
I didn't even know Quincy was there. I thought she was maybe back at the other place.
Wherever she is.
Yeah.
You saw her running away or sneaking in.
Tell me, you know what? For the hell of it, yes, you can kill Quincy. You won the seas. You should be able to kill someone. So go for it.
Okay, so, all right, so she's like covering her teammates as a boom, 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 just suppressing fire with the gun, not realizing that Quincy is actually there, like, in the building. And she'd recovered, like, a gun from one of Abthorpe's men. And she shoots me from behind. So it's just like right through the chest, like collapse. And she walks up to me, like as I lie there. And she's just like, any last words for the cameras? And I'm like trying to get the words out, so the blood is bubbling in my mouth. It's like, oh. And she like leans closer to hear what I'm saying. And I say, not a sociopath. And she, like with her last ounce of strength, she grabs Quincy and throws her back over her head off of the building to her death.
Judo move out, a defenestration by judo.
And with her last breath, she says, I'm a psychopath.
Oh, Hall of Fame. Crash. The glass breaks near the Hyundai Pony. Suddenly, a body goes flying down from a building, splattering beside Abthorpe's body. The whole area is raining corpses.
On the windshield
corpses.
Of the
They got to land on that tarp.
Yep. Excellent. Okay. Ren, we hardly knew ye. Now, even when a competitor dies, there is a Hall of Fame process. Maybe we'll get into it in a minute, but right now I want to hear from our winner, Colby Snow. How did you get out of this?
So the body just goes and like smashes down next to the pony, and then like the camera like pans up to inside the car. It's like, just drive and you're gonna be famous. You ever want to be? You guys want to be famous, right? And they're both like, and then we just see Trudy's foot just mashed down on the gas pedal as it goes like the pony starts like tearing through a bunch of what's his name, Collins? The
SWAT
people.
guy.
The
pony smashes into the SWAT guy.
Yeah.
That's how we're using Deathmatch here. I love it. Okay.
Nice.
And I was go, but how does Deathmatch come into it? And that's how it comes in.
Yeah,
okay.
And Tad is just like, and like is blowing away somebody else as we sort of like peel away. Just as I don't know where Casey is. She's just trying to save.
Oh yeah, Casey was trying to save you, dude.
So like Casey's like right into the car just veers, and you just see the rear window is like, as Colby like turns and sees it, and then like as the car is like driving away, it's just another lower third. It's like Colby Snow, not a good person, and it's like, and they just take off and like
goes,
jump.
Okay, see you later. See you on the next island, I guess.
Yeah, Casey, you can slightly change your narration now that this car is driven away. Casey, tell us how it goes for you. What happens here?
For sure. So I think she sees two things that radically change her plans, right? So she was planning on going in, being a Johnny Utah, putting the team on her back, saving all her friends. But first,
100% pure adrenaline, dude.
Pure 100%, dude. There's nothing like it. Just jump, man. And she sees Ren fall to her death, or she sees Quincy fall to her death. Maybe she looks up and sees Ren bleeding over the edge of the roof of this building, and I see my friend is dead, and I cannot save her. And then I see Colby Snow driving away, and waving out the back of the Hyundai Pony, and I go, okay, well, I guess he's fine too. And then I'll look up at the top of this grassy knoll and see Bowie Porter, surrounded World War Z style by the oncoming horde. And I think maybe they lock eyes, and it's like challenge beast to challenge beast. Casey Barlow may love Point Break, but another really sick-ass awesome movie, Karate Kid Part 3. And so she goes, Sensei. And goes to take out the back of the pack behind where they haven't noticed her yet, and syncing up with Sensei, she's used to being coached, right? Like, she's an athlete. She's got to have a coach. That's a coach. They're symbiotic that way. And so I think I'm taking out any threats to my coach dad. My coach dad.
You blast like a bunch of people in the back, like they're just going down, and they're so concerned with Bowie, they're not even noticing that their friends are falling behind them, getting blasted in the back. You're like a evil Billy the Kid, just shooting one person after another in the back.
Yeah.
You old rattlesnake, you.
I'll make you famous.
That's the Greenberg Tiger way.
That's the Greenberg Tiger way. Attack from. That's another thing on the wall of Greenberg Tiger. Attack from behind if you can.
Attack without honor.
It's the Tiger Greenberg way.
Honor is meaningless. Victory is the only measure of success.
And speaking of Tiger Greenberg, Bowie Porter, bring us home.
Bowie runs to the top of the hill, turns around, and just sees like 20 guys coming up. He's a little out of breath, and he looks at his teammates, closes his eyes, and in that moment, Bill Conti's hauntingly beautiful theme from Karate Kid 3 comes in. And we see all of a sudden Bowie's like on a mountainside
like
with
this flute.
Bowie Porter's like on a mountainside doing kata with a tiger and a gi. And then he opens his eyes, and it's just in slow motion. He continues doing the kata, but with a shotgun, and one by one, he's just blowing guys' heads off, but doing this like beautiful kata. Shotgun right up a guy's neck, and he just wipes out the whole crew.
So sick. God, that's
heroic.
so sick.
You're the best. All right.
I just love the gun kata. That's incredible.
Shotgun kata.
And
Really
soon,
amazing
Casey and Bowie find themselves on a hillside covered in red smears of blood. 20 men with their brains blown out, arms blown off. Just a mountainside of hanging gore. But suddenly, Phase 2 over. Please report to your departing boat. And then a bunch of lights come on, leading down to the shore. And there is so much more to this game, you guys. There is an entire section about what happens between islands as you travel to the next island.
I was just looking at this.
There's a way to put your character into the Hall of Fame. There are so many things. You craft theories. Your characters in the boat craft theories about what is going on with Deathmatch Island.
That. It's so cool. This game is so awesome.
It's amazing, and I wish we could do it all. But I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time today. So
good cliffhanger, though.
Yeah,
I want to thank my
good.
amazing competitors: Skid, Maher, Rob Kerkovich, Mary Lou, and Troy Lavallee. I've been Jared Logan. The game is Deathmatch Island. You can get it at evilhat.com. It's available now. And this has been part of our Gen Con coverage at the Glass Cannon Network. Stay tuned. Coming up is A Life Well Lived. It's a character creation book. We're going to do some character creation for Dungeons & Dragons 5e. But until then, I'll see you on the next island, and I'm going to be carrying a zip gun. And I'm going to shoot you in the neck. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.